that Doria has just had enough and has thrown her hands up and said, I'm not going to keep looking after the kids, I can't be part of this anymore, is true. Because why on earth would you need to go back to a picture from 2016? And actually, if you look very closely at the picture, P-Dina, it does appear to be the old Meghan. Are the children real? Has she changed the hair color, which keeps on going up and down grades?
Nothing is as it seems with Meghan. She has to use these old photos to make people believe that she and Harry are still together, that Doria's still around.
Now she's dragging poor Doria, poor reluctant Doria, into her desperate bid to deflect from what has become the worst day of her entire entertainment career so far. And what's so hilarious, of course, with this Instagram tribute to her mum, following on from the weird, creepy pictures of the two children with things all over their faces, what's so creepy and weird about this is that Doria doesn't even want to be a part of it. She has had enough. But of course, it was the perfect day to try and bury bad news as the Hollywood press started picking up on what we have been saying for the past week, that With Love Meghan Series 2 isn't just a dud, it has become the biggest, most spectacular flop in the history of Netflix. Look at this from Deadline, the left-wing Hollywood publication. Meghan Markle fails to crack Netflix top 10 with season 2 of With Love Meghan. So we go to P-Dina, royal YouTube sensation. P-Dina, we've got loads to cover off today. But first, can we just talk about the fact that on one day, it's like Archie and Lily. Then on the next, it's desperately trying to drag Doria in. We know Doria has had enough. She's not there anymore. She doesn't want to be part of this game playing anymore. But it is such a sort of futile attempt, I guess, from the duplicitous Duchess to say, just look the other way when it comes to these figures. Big news, Outspoken is now available as a podcast too. So please do subscribe wherever you get yours, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and make sure you rate and review. I'll take 5 stars, if you may.
Yeah, Meghan is in a desperate situation right now. We can see she is pulling out everything she can to divert attention from her failing Netflix show. I think Meghan just needs to come to the realization that she will never be able to save herself from these drowning waters. I just look at her as someone who is trying to not drown and to save herself. And there's just no way. Nothing you do is going to get you to come out of this any better. It's just going to keep getting worse and worse and worse. People are not aligned with Meghan and what she wants to do. The people do not want anything to do with supporting someone like Meghan, whose character is in the toilet, essentially. I mean, who she is as a person, people just don't like her. So she can put anything out there that she wants in terms of a show, Netflix, her little podcast. She can't get people to really support anything that she's doing. And so she's trying these little tricks now to see if that will work, but it won't work. It is really, really sad for her. And I can only imagine what Harry is thinking in this moment, how desperate it is. Because she, remember, is supposed to be the breadwinner, right? She's the one who's supposed to be bringing in the money. And she's not. She can't.
And then what about this suggestion that the soccer school in which Archie was seemingly promoting in this Instagram might be in some type of commercial arrangement with Meghan?
Yeah, that I saw actually when it first came out, and I was very reluctant to even speak about it because I thought that did she realize? And then it came to me, no, she is trying to commercialize her son and his T-shirt because if you think about her son actually going to something like this and people knowing where her son goes to school for soccer, that would be a nightmare for the company. So this was clearly something to do to make money. And because the soccer company or school retweeted it, like it came back out where they were supporting what she put out there. So Megan is trying to make money by any means necessary, using her children now. It is so pathetic that you got to slop on a t-shirt on your son to bring him money to help pay your bills. Really, Megan? Because she can't do it on her own. She needs to use the kids now and can't even show their faces. I mean, how pathetic is that?
It's ludicrous. It's like,
Bad.
come on, just bow to the inevitable. You are pimping
Yeah.
out the children, although we know why she's not. We know why she's not. It's that tiny little sop to that pathetic, stupid man, Harry, where she says,
Yeah.
oh, don't worry, H. Don't worry, stupid little H. I've put a little star over his face. So all of that campaigning that you've been doing about social media still counts. No, it
Right.
doesn't. But I mean, these pictures were creepy, P-Dina. I mean, did you see this from Princess Carparkle? This is creepy AF, not cute. Meghan Markle has a weird sense of humor appropriateness. Daniel Marson is a weirdo. That's all. It's like, why are you putting out this type of image, P-Dina? Even if it was innocent, that is creepy. It is weird. It's like something out of a horror movie. And you're putting your children in the wrong type of position with that sort of thing.
Yeah, I thought it was creepy too. Him peeking, outside this door, and little girl is looking like, "Oh, who is it?" And people have all kind of crazy fantasies. I can only imagine some things that they've even gotten from their security that they've even known to happen to them. But yet to perpetuate something that could infuel more desires, it's just very irresponsible. I can't imagine that Harry is down with this. Daniel will do any and everything for Megan, and he does. He looks like a weirdo, a creep, doing this, peeking behind this door at this little girl. I mean, to me, the idea that Megan has to do this shows how desperate she is. Because does she really realize what danger you're putting your children in? I mean, you're already not showing their faces, right? You're already creating this heightened sense of curiosity around what the children look like. People, I'm sure, are becoming obsessed with finding these children, let alone seeing what they look like. You're creating something for the sake of making money to take care of, to make a living. I mean, is it worth it when you've talked about your children and being afraid for their lives and trying to have this parents network around? What are you doing on the back end around people that are seeing these kinds of images, having fantasies, and perhaps maybe thinking of things around your children? I mean, you're creating something that I don't think she understands how bad it could really be for her and the children in this fantasy around the kids.
But this woman is a fake. Meghan Markle is a complete fake. Everything about her is fake and contrived. And
Mhm.
P-Dina, one thing I think that is most shocking about these posts, and specifically the post of Doria, let's take that as an example, is you cannot trust that these are actually new pictures. You can never trust. So look, she
Right.
makes out as if that is new. Well,
Hmm.
actually, Toomey has been doing a little bit of work on this and says the video Meghan Markle has posted to celebrate her mother's birthday was originally posted on her old Instagram, May the 23rd, 2016. And actually, if you look at what she has discovered here, and obviously, P-Dina, I have to be clear, I haven't been able to independently verify it, but I have no reason to doubt her research on this. You will see that post is from December, the 23rd of December 2016, where Meghan writes, no filter, just happiness with my mama bear, hashtag home sweet home, hashtag LA, hashtag California love, hashtag I love you, mom. And then you'll see all she's done in the new post, the new reel, is just add the love hearts over it. And P-Dina, to me, that again, and I'm not saying that I know can prove categorically, but what it does suggest to me is that my reporting and also the reporting of Angela Levin, that Doria has just had enough and has thrown her hands up and said, I'm not going to keep looking after the kids. I can't be part of this anymore, is true. Because why on earth would you need to go back to a picture from 2016? And actually, if you look very closely at the picture, P-Dina, it does appear to be the old Meghan. So again, if this is true, if she has just posted an old picture, I think it throws into doubt everything she posts on her social media. Like, are the children real? Has she changed the hair color, which keeps on going up and down grades? But what do you make of this claim?
Mm. Yeah, I think Megan, she wants to curate different stories with the pictures that she has because she can't really go on real time because I think things are crazy behind the scenes. Nothing is as it seems with Megan. And we have to remember also that there was a blow up with Doria that came out several months ago where she had enough of Megan. And I think Megan cannot seem to put out there the things that make her life look like what it is in real time. So she has to use these old photos to make people believe that she and Harry are still together, that Doria's still around. She doesn't put out things in real time. So yes, clearly Megan is not in a good space. And also, I think you can tell when she had this interview with Bloomberg where she talked about, her everything is great. I'm in a good spot. When you have to over accentuate how great things are in your life, then we really know things really are not that great. Because when they're great, they're just great. You don't have to say how great they are. And I think Megan is not doing well. I think this is a sign of it because we don't see anything recent. And that's just what she has to do to stay alive in this fantasy world that she is in because this is the last stop for Megan. Where does she go from here? What, trying to go back into royal life? We know that's not going to happen. That can't happen, right? Megan, there's nothing else she can do to make money. So she has to do it. And we can see that she's desperate. This is why nothing is recent. Nothing. I mean, if you're with your mother on her birthday, you're certainly not going through your pictures and finding an old photo to post. You are taking a photo in real time and congratulating your mother or having, fun times with your mom in real time. And you're showing it in
Yeah,
a
not
real
a
and
photo
authentic
from
way.
7 years ago. I mean, it's which she
Right.
seems to have animated, potentially using one of those new AI apps. But look, Tom Sykes of the Royalist Substack, he thinks, P-Dina, this is all down to the fact that she's failed to crack the Netflix top 10. And as a result, is using distraction techniques. He also says, by the way, it's fair to say With Love Meghan is over. And in this reporting, P-Dina, he reveals the Duchess very coincidentally published fresh images of her children on social media just hours before Netflix released its weekly viewing charts on Tuesday, fueling me to speculate that she was attempting to distract from incoming bad news. Sure enough, the figures arrived today, and With Love Meghan is nowhere to be found in the top 10. The Royalist understands the show is languishing somewhere in the mid to late 30s, a very disappointing performance given the publicity blitz, lavish spending, and Meghan's own boast about commanding a crew of 80. Despite critical panning and dwindling public interest now that the curiosity factor has worn off, the series is actually not over. But then he reveals that the holiday special is already believed to have been filmed. He says few expect Netflix to bankroll fresh mansions and more episodes. If they have any sense, attention inside Archwell should now be shifting towards the inevitable next big project. Industry rumours suggest the Sussexes are angling for a major documentary tied to the 30th anniversary of Princess Diana's death. Prince Harry has already made clear in his memoir Spare that he considers the inquest findings into his mother's death simplistic and absurd. A film trying to get to the truth of what happened could not only be personally meaningful but also potentially lucrative, a much needed combination for the couple. The truth, he writes, though, is stark. With the exception of the bombshell-driven Harry and Meghan docuseries, which didn't win ratings due to Harry and Meghan's production chops, every Sussex show has failed to cut through. With Love Meghan is a flop. Polo was a flop, and even the Invictus documentary, while worthy, hardly set the streaming world alight. So, P-Dina, it does look like the timing of this release was because she knew the official top 10 was going to come out. But again, I mean, I've been tracking this all week, P-Dina, and I wanted to be fair. I was looking every single day at every single top 10 around the world. She scraped in at number 10 in Australia on one day. And then I think she spent 2 days and it was Singapore. I think the Singaporean chart, Singapore or Hong Kong, one of them. But I mean, come on, this is now categorical. But first, if you're like me, you've spent so much time trying to find the perfect skincare treatments for your face, only to realize you're neglecting this area, right? The skin on your neck. But I have noticed, as I'm in my 40s, that is a massive oversight because the neck is on display all the time, yet so many folk just treat it as an afterthought in their routine. But so many women in the Outspoken audience will know that the skin on your neck is thinner, more delicate, and less oily than facial skin, which means it requires specialized care. That's why I was completely blown away when I received my, and oh my goodness, I love it. How beautiful is this? The GoPure Tighten and Lift Neck Cream, a product transforming the lives and the necks of women, and I have to say, some men too, all across the globe. It's a gorgeous product. I saw a noticeable difference within just weeks, and I know that it can become a game changer for you too. And the big news is Outspoken viewers and listeners get 25% off GoPure using the code DAN at checkout, D-A-N. Just head to gopurebeauty.com/Dan, use the code DAN, and you're all set. GoPure's proprietary firming complex is designed to visibly firm and smooth the skin on your neck and your chest, actually, if you want to use it there too, in as little as 4 to 8 weeks. In a consumer study, 100% of users said their skin looked more supple, 97% noted a firmer appearance. What incredible numbers! Indeed, GoPure's full line of science-backed skin and body care have delivered for over 100,000 real women with real results. Dermatologist recommended, cruelty-free. I know how important that is for so many of you. And with over 1 million jars sold, this beauty secret can no longer be called a secret, right? So tighten, lift, and restore elasticity in your neck because your skincare routine shouldn't stop at your jawline. For a limited time, Outspoken viewers and listeners get that whopping discount, 25% off. You just have to use the code DAN Dan at checkout. So head right now to gopurebeauty.com/Dan. Use the code Dan and you're all set. And after you do buy, do us a little bit of a favor. When they ask where you heard about GoPure, tell them it was after watching Outspoken. But now, back to the show.
Yeah. uh, Megan is at a point now in her life and career that she's got to make some real big changes. And I think the children, or showing these children on social media as much as she has been the big change that she's hoping for, that will save her from all of this. Because we know Harry does not like that the kids are on social media. But Megan, you know, it's almost like, why can't you even rely on those that are successful A-listers to help save you from this? They're not even coming to your rescue. The people that could bring in a lot of viewerships. I mean, if she had Kim Kardashian on, that would have been huge for her. But Megan sees that the people that she had on her show just did not bring it. They could not help her, and I think she knew it. She is in a position now where she will not even get A-listers in the future because they're not going to want to be attached to someone that's failing like this. This is just more proof to stay away from someone like Megan, because now everyone is seeing what a big flop you are. They want nothing to do with it. It's quite astounding. I mean, I don't understand why you don't just walk away, because clearly everyone can see what's happening. You think you're saving face by making these posts, and people are supposed to think, oh, everything is good and all is well. I know. I just don't understand why she keeps trying so much. It's embarrassing. Don't you find it
Oh
embarrassing,
my God,
Dan?
yes. But she will never walk away. She will never walk away, P-Dina. And this is the thing. It is part of her personality. This is
Yeah.
a woman who, and you know how I think of her, but she is tough as nails. And so in some ways, I'm like, bring it on, because she's going to get more desperate. There are going to be more terrible stunts, and she's going to start showing the world more of who she is. But I totally agree. I mean, I'd argue, P-Dina, maybe on certain things, she has already had to hold up her hands and admit defeat and walk away. One example of this I wanted to ask you about, actually, was the Sun's reporting today that she has shut down her online store. You know, this is her Shop My storefront, where the Sun writes she'd been flogging everything from £20 grey tees to £1,600 silk gowns, perfect for chicken feeding. And I mean, this was new. This was only set up in March. The banner on her profile previously read, a hand-picked and curated collection of the things I love. I hope you enjoy them. But now her profile has vanished with the page completely blank. Tom Sykes describes this as a brutal day and writes, if the easy win of Shop My has failed, how can the way more complex as ever work? And he writes, to me, it's another sign after the flop of With Love Meghan, which is languishing well outside Netflix's top 10, that her entire brand, including her Jam to Rose Petals empire as ever, is in deep trouble. And he says, even though Ted Sarandos has enthusiasm for her, it doesn't change the math. Affiliate sales need traffic and volume, and Meghan's show likely hasn't delivered either. Without a wide funnel, the much harder win of As Ever looks vulnerable. And that's just a fact. Because, P-Dina, again, there's no way, if this was making her a decent amount of money, she would have shut this down. No way. So I think what's happened is she's realized, oh my goodness, someone is going to work out how little I'm making from this, how little influence I have, and get rid. But it's like, for someone where the stakes are so high, where her reputation is already entrashed and very much under threat, this sort of strategy of just like throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks is proving to be disastrous.
It really is. It is almost at a point where the history making that she is doing right now, like this has never been done in the history of anyone who's been somewhat famous like she is or infamous. I mean, it's so bad for Meghan right now. She has to even protect herself from looking like she has no influence. So taking this down is, yeah, I think proving that she knows that she can't make herself look good by having this, and her influence is not really there. So in order to save herself, she has to take it down. It's just a sign of Meghan falling, and she really at this point needs to do something extremely drastic for a big turnaround. And I think that would not be good for the royal family, if you know what I mean. And that's where we're at. And especially with Harry trying to reconcile, it just seems like they're on two opposite ends of the table right now. Meghan's doing one thing, trying to keep this alive, and Harry's like, "Oh no, we're drowning. I'm getting out of here. I want to reconcile with my family." So, I mean, what happens now with this union, this marriage? Everything behind it is pointing to disaster, because Meghan is going to keep trying, and even if she has to close something down to make it look like there's nothing here to see, keep looking the other way, she'll do that because she's embarrassed by her influence and it's not there. The money making potential is horrible for her. What can she do?
By the way, I've got to come back to this Bloomberg interview, because I've really spoken quite a lot about her comments in regard to her name. But what's really fascinating, and I give comment section the fact for actually reminding me what she had said. Do you remember 2021 on Oprah? Part of her argument, her anti-royal family argument, was, I nearly lost my name. There's a loss of identity. Then, of course, in With Love Meghan, well, we know what she said. And the comment section said, identity crisis much. The only thing she's consistent about is being inconsistent and her victim narrative. Now, let's just look at those two clips, because it's stark, P-Dina. It just shows she's a liar side by side.
I nearly lost my name. I mean, there's the loss of identity.
I don't think anyone in the world knows that Meghan Markle has eaten Jack in the Box and loves it.
It's so funny, too, that you keep saying Meghan Markle. You know I'm Sussex now.
Now, think about that, P-Dina. At the point of the Oprah interview, She was at her lowest ebb when it came to the royal family. And so you could argue maybe naturally she didn't want to keep the name. So what's changed? Money, commercial. She knows she needs it. But I find it hilarious that now she's so down on Sussex, whereas in 2021, it's like, I don't want to lose my name.
Yeah, that's a really good point. The narrative keeps changing, it keeps shifting, and that's just another sign that she is all over the place. She doesn't know what she is doing. She hasn't stuck firm to anything to show us. She knows who she is. She doesn't have anything that points to her stability in the current circumstances that she is in right now. She'll throw any and everything out there because the girl is lost. She sees exactly she needs money right now, and that money is really going to be more attached to the royal name. But how do you keep your attachment to the royal name when all you've done is complain about being royal or what the royals have done to you? Like that doesn't even make sense. If you look at what she said in the past about, her identity and her royal connection, not wanting to be in this bubble, and then starting to talk about, having this name Sussex, and that's who she is. Woman, make up your mind. Who are you? That's why people cannot jive with this woman. They cannot connect to her because she's saying, look here, they look here, and she's like, okay, don't look here. Because she doesn't know what she is doing with anything around her brand. That is why it is part of the reason why it is failing, because she doesn't even know what her own brand is. She doesn't know who she is. She just knows she needs to make money. And she thought by all the adoration that she got from being in the royal family, all the love that people gave her, she thought that was transferable to going to California and just doing something. No, it's not. You have to understand who you are, what you're about, and you certainly cannot make digs at the royal family, the people that gave you all the notoriety that you have. Like this woman and the people that are supposed to be behind her, I can see how she's not listening to them because nobody who does this kind of work to help celebrities with their brand would approve of all the mishaps that
No
Meghan
way.
has had. This shows you she's not listening to
She's
these
not
people.
listening to anyone. But I'll tell you what she is doing, P-Dina. She's copying others. This is also a woman who has no original thought. And look at what we've tracked down. Do you remember? Well, actually, let me first show you Meghan in the Bloomberg interview when she seemed to have scripted and prepared some answers. Watch this.
If you had total anonymity for a month, what would you do?
I would go grocery shopping every day. I miss grocery shopping so much, though I'm very much on Instacart.
That sounded a little bit familiar. Do you remember Kim Kardashian on that famous Ellen DeGeneres interview?
Just want to go to Ralph's with my kid in the cart and go through every aisle, which is like no one else. And I haven't been to a grocery store in years.
By the way,
I was so jealous.
That does
Not an original thought, P-Dina.
No, and you know how she contradicted herself because before that she says we go everywhere. Oh, we can go we go out on our date nights, Oh yeah, everyone's nice to us. Well, if people are nice to you, then or when they see you, then how is it that they can why do you have to now say that you will have to go to the grocery stores when just before that you said something completely different that showed that you didn't have to be incognito? It doesn't make sense.
It never makes sense, but we know that she looks at others, and certainly at the moment, P-Dina, the Kardashians are in her sights, aren't they?
Yes, she wants to emulate them. And then also, it's so funny because when you say that, because yes, I can see her wanting to be like the Kardashians, but also I was watching Gwyneth Paltrow the other day, and it just reminded me a lot of the things Megan is trying to do. And I know from a source that Megan has always been the kind of person when she sees people, she tries to emulate them. Like people that know her have said this about her. That's what she does. So that's Megan trying to take on personalities of other people because she likes them or she thinks that they're successful. Well, that can make her successful now. But it can't, because they're being who they are, and you're just liking who these people are and trying to be like them and thinking that that's going to, transcend to other people liking you too. But it doesn't. It shows how you're so fake, because people can see you're trying to copy other people. Watching Gwyneth and Kim Kardashian, these people, I see Megan so much trying to be like these people. And it is so wrong for Megan to just think she can get success by being like people that she likes. I mean, really, woman, have an original thought. Don't you think people want to
God,
just see
yes.
you for who you are?
Well, we really do want to see that, but there's very good reason, P-Dina, that she doesn't want to
true.
show us who she really is. But the good thing is we will keep to exposing it here. And of course, if you do want first access to the Royal Uncancelled After Show every single weekday, Monday to Friday, it is actually twice the length of this if you sign up to my Substack, www.outspoken.live. You will get it either live or on demand first before anyone else, with no advertising whatsoever. Plus, you'll be part of my Substack community where you can message me direct, where I'm protected on a free speech platform. So come and join the fun. www.outspoken.live. Thank you so much for watching Dan Wootton Outspoken. Please click on my face just to the bottom left to subscribe to this brand new independent news source, and turn on the notification bell so you'll be alerted to our brand new live shows, uncancelled interviews, and special royal episodes. Outspoken is also now available as a podcast, so you can listen to the show every weekday on the go, wherever you are.